So we've arrived at the all-important lecture of how are people actually going to pay you. Clearly you need a payment provider so people can actually buy something from your site. Now to get to your payment providers, it's very straightforward. Just go down to settings and click on payment providers. Now this is where things get a little bit more complicated because the payment providers that are available to you totally depend on where you live. So that's really, really important to grasp. Now the three main payment providers are Shopify Payments, PayPal and Stripe. Okay, and in this example, because I'm based in France, as you know, Shopify Payments does not work in France. So my options here are PayPal and I also have Stripe. But if you're watching this in the US, for example, you will almost certainly see Shopify Payments here as an option. If you're watching this, say, in Brazil, just purely for example, I can't guarantee this, you may not see Shopify Payments or PayPal, or maybe not even Stripe, but some other payment provider is available to you. So what you need to do at this point is seek out the best payment provider in your country. Now, Shopify, to a certain extent, have made this easier because they've come up with this page, which is shopify.com/payment gateways. Okay. And if you head over here, you're going to see a list of all the countries and then all of the payment gateways that are available in those countries. So just for example, if we click on, I don't know, Singapore here, for example, and scroll down. So here I've got the major payment gateways supported in Singapore. Shopify Payments is available. So if you're watching this in Singapore, then you should have Shopify Payments. PayPal is also available. And then there's various other ones like WorldPay, etc. But each person, and I keep repeating this because it's so important, is going to be different. Let's have a look in France. So if I click on France and scroll down, you're going to see a bunch of payment gateways that are very different to those that are in Singapore. You'll also note that Shopify Payments is not on the list, but PayPal Express Checkout is, which if you go back here, is what it is offering me as a solution. So this is where you need to roll up your sleeves and basically get out there and find the best payment provider for your situation. Now, all I can do is just demonstrate what I've got here in France. That's going to help you somewhat. So again, my default is PayPal. Now, I could have others accept credit cards. Okay, so select the provider. I can have Stripe in France, and I've got all these other ones available to me as well. And if I scroll down a bit here, I've also got apparently Amazon Pay and various alternative payments. Now these I don't recommend you dive into, certainly not in the beginning, because it's going to be more of a distraction. And as for manual payments, well, that's not relevant. We are not doing any manual payments with this business model. So if I scroll back up to the top here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up PayPal on my store. And what I'll typically do in a real situation is actually have two payment providers. Now the reason for that is because your customers may want to pay with their preferred payment provider. So for example, some people will want to pay with PayPal and others will want to pay with a credit card through a system like Stripe. It's also useful to have two in case there's an issue with one of them. Now that's a luxury setup. I fully appreciate that not everybody can have two, but certainly aim for one. So at this point, it's over to you. See what's available. It might be a very, very straightforward process, or you may have to do a little bit more digging to get that thing set up. But whatever you do, make sure you get a payment provider fully installed.